Good morning, y'all. This is Naveen with Naveen's Cuisine, and I have some water boiling, and I'm gonna cook some penne rigata for a Greek dish that I'll be making today. And there's 3 steps to that dish. This is the first one, cooking the pasta. You can use penne, you can use ziti, which is pretty much like penne except it's a little bigger in diameter and straight edges, unlike the penne, which is kind of cut at the diagonal. And the dish is called pastisio, and pastisio is basically the Greek version of lasagna, and it has 3 layers: pasta, ground beef with some tomato sauce, and the last layer is bechamel sauce. And oh my god, it smells and tastes great. See you in a bitty. My penne pasta is cooked al dente, and it is in a strainer, straining all the water out of it. Layer number 2 for the pastisio is cooking ground beef. So I got about 3 cloves of minced garlic, added to 3 tablespoons of hot olive oil, a small onion chopped, I'm gonna saute them until they're nice and golden. Like I mentioned before, pastisio is a very popular Greek dish. It's like lasagna, but it doesn't have the cheese layer. It has the pasta, the ground beef, and the bechamel, nice creamy bechamel sauce to die for. And it's so good when it cooks and it broils. That beautiful bechamel sauce, the top of it gets nice and brown. It's fantastic. Now that the garlic and onions are nice and golden, I'm adding a pound of ground beef. I break it down. Saute it with the garlic and onions, olive oil. Now the ground beef looks beautiful, nice and brown. I'm going to sprinkle some sea salt, black pepper, and of course, Greek oregano. Greek dish requires a Greek oregano. It brings out so much flavor. Now, if you have the time to cook your own pasta sauce, tomato sauce, go ahead. I got a lot on my list today to do, so I'm going to do a shortcut and use jarred tomato sauce, which is basically marinara sauce. So this jar is from Trader Joe's, and it's the roasted garlic, and it's 26 ounces. But with pastisio, it's not like spaghetti sauce. It has to be too saucy and flowing over the pasta. Not really. You just need enough for flavor and just a little bit of redness. So I'm just going to use 13 ounces only. Give it a nice stir. Put it on low heat and let it cook for another maybe 15 minutes. Then we will start assembling the pastiscio. Hello again, Niveen with Niveen's Cuisine. Don't forget to visit my channel on YouTube, Niveen_S Cuisine. And this now is stage number 3, which is the bechamel sauce for the pastiscio, the Greek lasagna. So I'm melting 2 sticks of butter, which is half a pound, 2 sticks of butter. And then I'm going to start adding flour, about 2 cups, but a little bit at a time, and kind of let the butter absorb it. It's much easier when you add a little bit at a time, so it doesn't all get clogged up. So bechamel sauce is basically a creamy, cheesy sauce thickened by flour. Then we're going to add some milk. I like to use whole milk because I like that rich flavor of it, but you can use any kind of milk you like. Bechamel sauce comes from French cuisine. You can thicken it or thin it as much as you can for whatever needs. I like mine thick, but not too thick that I cannot pour it over the casseroles and have it spread easily. So here's my butter. It's absorbed all the flour, and I'm kind of like just letting it cook a little bit. We're gonna add some nutmeg to the mix. A nice pinch. And while you're stirring it, the nutmeg kind of, from the heat, kind of smells so wonderful. The heat brings out the flavor and the smell of herbs and spices. Then I'm gonna add some freshly cracked black pepper. As much as you want. I'm not adding salt at this time because later I'm gonna put some Parmesan and that's salty enough. So just let it cook, not brown, just let it cook and bubble a little bit so it doesn't have that floury taste. Bechamel sauce can be used for many dishes. Greek pastiscio, Greek moussaka, which is another eggplant casserole. You can put it on lasagna. You can thin it and mix it with pasta. Many uses. Now I'm going to add 4 cups of milk. 1 milk at a time. Let the butter and flour absorb it one little amount at a time. Preferably the milk needs to be warmed or hot so it doesn't stop the cooking process of the sauce. So that's cup number 2. Cup number 3. Actually, initially I said 3 cups. We're gonna need more than that to thin it out. So that's number 4. And it kind of bubbles up, so be careful not to splash in your face. So I would say 6 cups of milk, And I like to add as I go because you're never really sure of what consistency would come up. So like I said, I want it thick and rich, but also spreadable. So that's 5. Again, a little bit at a time. So we started with 2 sticks of butter, or half a pound melted. Then we added 2 cups of flour gradually. A pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper. And it looks more like 7 cups of milk. Try to dissolve any kind of clumps, and that's why you add the ingredients ever so softly and gradually. Have a nice thick sauce so far. I love Parmesan, so I'm gonna add, let's see, either shaved or powdered. I have shaved right now. I'm gonna add about 2 cups. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, that's too rich. Yeah, but if you're gonna make it once or twice a year, it's worth it. Beautiful, beautiful consistency. And just wait a little bit till the Parmesan is dissolved, melted. And I'm gonna add 1 egg. The egg keeps it nice and smooth, and also adds a beautiful brown after we assemble this casserole. We're gonna put it under the broiler to get that wonderful brown surface. So right now we got our pasta cooked and drained. We have our meat sauce ready to go, sauteed with garlic and onion, and I added half a jar of tomatoes just to give it some color. This here is cooked. I'm turning it off. Now it's assembly time. So now we're assembling our wonderful pasticcio. And since I'm making some to send over to an old relative that's been craving it for a while, I'm putting some in a 9x13 foil container, and I also have a 9x5 small Pyrex dish to keep for us in the house. So first we're gonna add the pasta, a nice layer at the bottom. Beautiful day to cook Greek. Then we're gonna add a layer of the meat sauce. Let's make it kind of spread it out evenly. The meat nice and smooth. Then we're gonna put another layer of pasta. almost like lasagna, but without the cheese mix. So I think I lied. That recipe is good enough for a 13 by 9 pan. I was hoping it would have a little extra. But then comes the last part of adding bechamel sauce. Look at this gorgeous, thick, spreadable, rich sauce. That's actually what makes this dish. The richness of the butter, the milk, the parmesan, of course. Perfect. I have my oven on broil right now. My pasticcio is all ready and it's gonna go in and get a beautiful brown surface. Look at this beautiful broiled surface top for the pasticcio. Absolutely gorgeous and it smells fantastic.